You're not thinking too much. You're hiding. And the scariest part? Your brain made it feel like intelligence. It made you believe that thinking more means doing better. That if you just plan enough, research enough, wait long enough, the perfect moment will finally arrive. But here's what nobody tells you. Overthinking isn't a thinking problem. It's a fear problem wearing a thinking costume. Let's talk about what's actually happening. Most people think overthinkers are careful people, analytical people, smart people who just need more information before they act. That's the story your brain sells you. And it's a lie. Here's the truth. In 2003, researchers at Cornell University studied decision-making in high-anxiety individuals. They found something disturbing. The more information anxious people received, the worse their decisions became. Not better, worse. Because the brain wasn't processing information. It was using information as a reason to delay. Every new fact became a new excuse. Every new perspective became a new doubt. And the decision never came. Here's what your brain is actually doing. Inside your head right now, there are two systems running. Psychologists call them System 1 and System 2. System 1 is fast, instinctive, emotional. System 2 is slow, logical, deliberate. Overthinking happens when System 2 hijacks System 1 and never lets go. But here's where it gets dangerous. System 2 isn't just slow, it's also the home of your ego. Your identity lives there. Your self-image lives there. The story of, I am smart, capable, and in control, lives there. And the moment you make a decision, you risk being wrong. You risk the story falling apart. So your brain does something genius. It keeps thinking, not to find an answer, but to avoid the moment where you might be proven wrong. Psychologists call this ego-protective cognition. Your brain literally uses thinking as a shield against reality. Nobody talks about this part. If this is already hitting close to home, hit that like button, because it's about to get deeper. And here's how the loop works. You face a decision. Anxiety spikes. Brain says, wait, think more. You're not ready. You think more. Temporary relief. But the decision is still there. Anxiety comes back. Stronger this time. Brain says, still not ready. More research. More planning. And the loop tightens. Every time you avoid, your brain learns that avoidance works. This is called negative reinforcement. And it's the same mechanism that creates addiction. The relief you feel when you delay a decision, that's your hit. That's your drug. And just like any addiction, it takes more and more avoidance to feel the same relief. Until one day, you can't make even the smallest decision without spiraling. What to eat, what to say, what to wear. This is why smart people lose. Not because they lack intelligence, because their intelligence became their prison. Now here's the twist nobody sees coming. You think your overthinking protects you from mistakes. But research says the opposite. In a study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, people who overthought their decisions reported higher regret than people who decided quickly. Not lower regret, higher. Because here's what happens. When you finally make a decision after weeks of overthinking, your expectations are impossibly high. You've imagined every scenario. You've planned for perfection. So when reality is just normal, it feels like failure. And when you don't decide at all, life decides for you. The job goes to someone else. The relationship fades. The opportunity closes. And you're left with the worst kind of regret. Not the regret of trying and failing, but the regret of never trying at all. Watch what happens next. And if you want to understand every hidden pattern your brain runs, subscribe. Because this is just the beginning. But why do some people overthink more than others? This is the part that will make you uncomfortable. Overthinking is highest in people with one specific trait: high self-expectations. You don't overthink because you're weak. You overthink because you hold yourself to an impossibly high standard. And somewhere along the way, you decided that making a wrong decision is worse than making no decision. Psychologists link this directly to perfectionism, the belief that unless something is done perfectly, it shouldn't be done at all. And perfectionism, research shows, is one of the strongest predictors of depression, anxiety, and chronic inaction. Not because perfectionists are broken, but because their brain was never taught that imperfect action beats perfect inaction. Every single time. So what does this mean for your actual life? It means every area where you feel stuck, your career, your relationships, your goals, is not a lack of information problem. It's a permission problem. You're waiting for your brain to give you permission to act, but your brain will never give you that permission because your brain's job is survival, not success. It will always find one more reason to wait, one more thing to research, one more risk to consider. This is why the most successful people in the world share one trait: not intelligence, not talent, not even hard work. Tolerance for uncertainty. They act before they're ready. They decide before they're certain. They move before the fear goes away, because they know the fear never goes away. Amazon's Jeff Bezos calls it the regret minimization framework. He asks himself one question before every decision. When I'm 80 years old, will I regret not doing this? If yes, he acts immediately, not perfectly, not confidently, just immediately. Here's the final truth. Your overthinking mind isn't your enemy. It's a protector that never learned when to stop. It protected you once, maybe when you were younger, maybe when the world felt unpredictable and unsafe. And it's still doing that job, even when you don't need it anymore. So the next time your brain spirals, don't fight it. Don't shame it. Just say, I see what you're doing, and I'm acting anyway. Because here's the last thing. The life you want is not on the other side of the perfect decision. It's on the other side of any decision. Decide, then make it right. If this video made you see yourself differently, share it with one person who needs to hear this today.